just wanna chill and ride. I just wanna chill and ride. I just wanna chill and ride. I just wanna chill and ride.
Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Turn up, gon' turn up.
Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up,
You know Buddha gon' turn up. Gon' turn up. You know Buddha gon' turn up. Let's start the show. Only good vibes.
I gotta do some production stuff.
Only good vibes.
Let's start the show.
only good vibes.
Turn up. Yeah. What's good, sipper? This is your boy Buddha, and over there is the lovely
Baby!
and we are sipping in conversations with Buddha and Baby.
That's what it is.
What's going on, baby? Once you
Everything
get to
is
the
good.
once you get to the screen, I want to
Everything
know,
is good.
how was your day?
Today was a great day to be great. I'm just determined to get some things done, and I'm getting her done. Yeah.
Oh, I like the shirt you got. What kind of shirt you got on there, baby?
This is a shirt you too could be wearing. Yes. Okay.
Oh, we merged out today, baby.
I'm just saying.
You got on the shirt.
Shirts for sale. Shirts for sale.
You got on the honorary What's Good Sipping shirts. I got on the honorary Sipping and Conversation shirt with the Sipping and Conversation.
I'm gonna need you to get your tone together.
With a Sipping and Conversation hat. Because I've been drinking.
Poor thing.
And
Y'all know he be talking so fast, and I be like, slow down. Get your words right.
I feel you, baby.
Yes.
What you drinking on?
Vodka, ginger ale, and some cranberry juice.
Oh, okay.
In the big cup. What you got in this special glass?
Oh, my mason jar. I have some Canadian Club, not the Myers rum this time. Canadian Club, some ginger ale, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I'd be special. I took some mandarins and threw them in there.
Oh, okay.
For fruity pleasure. Fruity pleasure. For fruity pleasure.
Fruity pleasure.
Right, think about it. So you get this drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice strong alcohol in there. You drink it all up, and now you got the fruit at the end to chomp on.
Oh, okay. Get your old drunken fruit.
The old drunken fruit.
Hey.
Oh, man.
All right.
So
talk about last week.
So let's do a little recap. So last week we talked about guy code, girl code. What are they, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after further deliberation, big word, deliberation, and I didn't slur it, right? After further deliberation, fellas, we got to step our game up, man. So I got back and I started getting with all the homies, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing I said to them, man, is who is gonna throw my whole phone away when I die? Who gonna throw it? Who's gonna wipe my phone clean? Cause man, we ain't thinking about this shit. All that freak nasty shit you got in there in your phone. Unauthorized conversations that your children don't never need to hear. See?
Unauthorized,
you know what I'm saying? You in a compromising position in certain pictures and videos.
But I thought you the one that you want to teach your sons how to do things to be strange.
For a little change? Hell yeah. But I ain't thinking about that. I don't have sons. I got daughters. There you go.
No, you can't be double standard.
I'm a double standard his ass. What? What my boy say? David Ruffin. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right.
That's sad. I got nothing.
Oh yeah.
I got nothing.
But no, seriously, we talked about God code. We, as a man, we said if we are interested, like some real interest in the woman, as a friend, homie, whatever, just back off.
Just real quick, they saying black men need not to cheat. Black men don't cheat.
Need not to. Who said that?
Cali boy.
Oh Lord, it's not cheating, fella. Number one, TJ say it's entertaining. That's what TJ said.
Y'all entertainers.
We entertain, but I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong. Why are we the only species that can't
enjoy being great?
Right. I don't see no dog, no female dog barking at the next dog talking about, oh, you were all right. No. Move on.
I don't know that.
I mean, when you got a lion, we always like to look at the lion as a strong, prominent, symbol in the black home, right? The lion, right?
Okay.
It's one lion to about 5 lions.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And the women do all the killing.
That's what.
Bring it home to Bachelor. I'm just saying, I'm teasing though. I was just talking to Caliboy, man. What's good? Yeah, so God code is, if we are in a fight, you better act like you are fighting with us. Don't run, because that's a double. If I get my ass whooped because you ran, then you gonna get your ass whooped when I get to you. Well, baby, what you got? What you got on this girl code?
I'm trying to get to it.
Oh, okay. Y'all had a lot to say.
I don't think I have it here.
You said something. The women said something about agreeing with me.
Oh, basically, don't. My man is my man unless I give permission. Mm-hmm. Don't. If we come together, we lead together. What else?
You got this.
Man, I forgot just that quick. I mean, we had quite a bit. So that was just a highlighted version. I'll just go with that. All right. So first of all, welcome to the show of Sipping in Conversation with Buddha and Baby. Welcome old, welcome the new. Welcome, 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 welcome. All of our platforms, we're on all the platforms, okay? The mainstream ones, those that you know, don't know. Mm-hmm. We are on Instagram. Hello, Instagram. We are on Anchor.fm, which is our main audio platform. And so from there, we are on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher, and so many more, okay? So if you can't catch it live, you are able to listen to it on the audio version. You can stop and go, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to see all the dramatics and theatrics and so forth, then you feel free to come to Facebook and you'll be able to catch it live. Soon, there's going to be a big shift. And Sipping in Conversation is going to be primarily going to YouTube. So right now we're just doing this. We got this going on, but eventually, real soon, we will have our show going to be on YouTube. Okay, so stay tuned. Keep that same energy, and we're about to get into it today. You got any shout outs, special shout outs, any love?
Yeah, I do.
Before we get into it?
Yeah, I do. I have a shout out, but before I get into it, there's one more thing that needs to be said about the fellas.
All right. Y'all need to step y'all game up.
Damn sure do. But we don't cheat. And if we, this is the main thing. If I wasn't there, keep my name out your mouth.
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
That's
if I ain't there, if I am there, I
Keep
need,
the name.
first of all, don't be, that's another girl code. Don't let a motherfucker be comfortable talking about you and they know good and doggone well that's y'all friends. And if you stay there while that person is talking about your friend,
You better be the first.
you better swing on everybody, or you better speak for me as if I was there. You know what I'm saying? Speak for me like I would speak for myself. That's one of the girl codes too. Like,
Okay.
we supposed to be tight.
And always be a wingman. So if I
If I lie, you're the lie. That was collective.
Hey, listen. You need to be able to transition between lies and truth. So, like, if we're talking, listen. If I say I'm at your house and I wasn't at your house, you better act like I was at your house, regardless.
I was at your house.
And that's it. That's it. You got to ride with your boy until my man say till you can't ride no more. Ride. You gotta ride. What else? What's going on, cuz? Oh, you was talking about we was talking about shout outs. I like to give a special shout out to 25-8.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. He just had a birthday yesterday. He's my ace. He's my brother. He's my friend. He's everything to me. So a special shout out. One time for my cousin. Congratulations on your marriage. Sorry I wasn't able to attend, but I love you. Maybe I'll see you next week.
All right.
All right.
So far, everybody's the couple people at yes, the hell it is. Speak the truth, not the shady business. Just be great with who you're with. That's what he's talking about.
For entertainment?
Yeah, your entertainment purposes.
Okay.
Anything said to the opposite sex outside your relationship can be labeled as disrespect. No need to set yourself up for failure.
I feel it. I agree. I'm not going to disagree because everybody's right in their own right.
Yeah, based on their experience
Right.
and so forth. So it makes a big difference.
All right.
All right.
So where we at today, baby?
So today we're going to be talking about interracial dating.
What?
Yeah.
This should be interesting.
Well, let's start like this. Is love blind?
Is it blind?
Mm-hmm.
Hell no, it ain't blind.
So when you go out and you're dating, you know, you know. I mean, obviously, you know, physical, that's an opposite race, but when you get into, I guess from an emotional perspective, do you get caught up in that, like this race, whatever that race is, and block your love for that person?
Love, I mean, first of all, what we talking about? Brotherly love, or we talking about love?
Dating.
Yes.
With regards to interracial dating.
Hell no, love is not blind. Love ain't blind, interracial or racial. However you want to look at it. It ain't.
Within or without.
Within or without. Let me tell you. The only blind love you got is your mama, your siblings, your kids, your kids, people who, with you by default. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, you got to see it, Jack. See, for a man, most of the time, I'm going to say a good 85, 90% of the time, she's got to look the part, at least to us. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? And once you start beholding it, you may or may not fall in love. I mean, can love happen at first sight? Absolutely. Absolutely.
I never really understood it though.
Rare?
Love at first sight. Like, is that just like one of those sayings? Or is it really truly, I loved you from the first moment I saw you?
Well, I guess it could be true. And the only reason why I'm saying it could be true is there's a lot of empaths out there, right? Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people who can see that little glimpse in the future, and bam, they see their future right there. And at that moment, you know, it could be love for them. You know what I'm saying? So if you believe in that sorcery, or that type of sorcery, listen, it ain't sorcery. That gift. If you believe that people can have that gift, then you, by default, should believe in love at first sight.
Okay, I got you.
In my opinion.
No, I mean, I'm obviously when we're talking about outlook and perspectives of interracial dating, love could be blind. You know, some may say that love is blind in the aspect that if I choose to date someone outside of my race, I'm blinded by the fact that they are the opposite race of me because of love. So maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know. I don't know. If you are a black and white person, black and white as far as how you see things, it's either black or white, not race, black and white, but you know, that gray area and so forth. Or if you're a colorful person, you know, it all depends on your, back when we was kind of talking about the family and society, how you were raised, what exposure you've had, will give your perspective and your outlook on interracial dating. It'll give you a different opinion about it. You mentioned someone growing up in a house, black guy was visited.
Oh yeah,
friends.
Right. Yeah, you know, I grew up, not just him, but I grew up, you know, having Hispanic friends, white friends, black friends. So being that I did grow up that way, it was easy for me not to see, you know, the racial tension in those situations. I didn't really necessarily see the racial tension in those situations until I got to high school, where I went to an all-black high school, and it was just a lot of black pride. Mm-hmm. So you either gravitated towards that, or you stayed where you was at. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I lost friends because I went to a certain high school, not because I went to a certain high school, just because my energy, my new friends, everything gravitated towards that. So, and then I grew up in an era where it was black pride. You know, we had to be stronger than ever. You know, unity. We had the unity. We used to walk around with the African medallions, you know, and the cross colors. I'm telling my age a little bit. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Denise?
Well, you know, and see, what's crazy is, like, for me, I was always like integrated. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you went to that mixed school.
Shut up. And what I mean, even before that, because my level of intellect wasn't at the level of the home school, I was bused to a different school for the gifted program.
What?
So, I know, whatever. And so with that being said, because I went to another school, which was predominantly the opposite race of me, it exposed me differently. And then of course my education didn't change because of where I lived or anything like that. I kept that same energy.
Right. So
even up through middle school, where I went, it was mixed. I went to Lockhart Middle School, the Lancers, but I was still in like the honors classes and everything, and I got accepted into the IB program at Winter Park High School.
Say that.
I hush, but I turned it down
to go to that janky ass school.
Whatever, okay. I turned it down, but under the conditions that I would go into honors classes and, you know, kind of just still keep the same track that I was going to do. But nevertheless, fast forward, going to Evans High School.
Boo!
Go Trojans. Go Trojans, go.
Only thing good about Evans is Trojan. They strong.
Okay.
And they work.
It was really a melting pot of, like, as
Diversity.
saturated as it was with blacks, there was a large Haitian, Asian, white, like, it was all of them. And I got to know them all. Like, you know, I had my black friends, I had my Asian friends, I had it, you know, I didn't, you know, the pride was there, but so, nevertheless, my exposure was different. Now, when I go home, it's predominantly black.
I feel it.
So I hung with my black friends. So it was kind of weird that I personally was never really attracted. Well, I lied. I never dated outside of my race. I have been attracted outside of my race.
So
but I just never acted on it.
So the question is, baby, like, why haven't, if you was attracted to people that observate, you know, why haven't you acted on it? What was stopping you from, especially if you were single at the moment, what was stopping you from proceeding?
Hold that down about my school. I don't know. Like,
I'm sorry, you happen to go to sorry ass school. Did I just say that out loud? Do you want me to name the name of the school? I could do that for you.
Jones.
No, that's the greatest.
Sorry ass school. Oh,
that was the greatest.
All our schools were great in their own rightful place. Okay.
No.
Thank you. Yes, it was, because baby, we got a judge right now that came up out of there.
You don't think we got people like that?
I'm just saying, like sitting on the 9th Circuit Court. So yeah. Well, yeah, you do count, young lady. Just saying. But I'm just saying, like, I didn't really actually getting into a full, well, okay, yes I did, but then I didn't. But we talking about something totally different. I don't know why I didn't date out my race. I just didn't. It wasn't even I didn't even think about it. Like, I never even questioned myself, why am I not dating outside of my race? Because there was some very attractive men outside of my race.
Right. Totally
attracted to them. And I was just I don't know.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it I don't know because of how you was brought up? I mean, obviously when you went to school you had a lot of diversity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you came home you didn't have as much diversity, right? Mm-hmm. So your ties and your first ideology on how the world works comes from where?
Were you exposed to the most? Your home?
Your home. Right? So I grew up, to add to that, I grew up in a strong black pride movement house. Mm-hmm. And hate to say it, if I came home with any other shade of black to the house, there was issues. There was issues. So for me, I always played with all the women of all other nationalities, but I never would bring them home. Mm-hmm. I always played with them. I was only in one. Well, I was in multiple. I had a couple. Well.
It's like, wait, hold on. Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna
clean it up.
I'm not gonna clean it up at all.
Clean it up.
I was an international player.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, we'll go with that.
I was just an international player. I touched them all, except for Antarctica. Is there people that live in Antarctica?
Anyway.
I don't even think there's people that live in Antarctica.
Oh,
but if there are, I'm coming for you.
Oh, so, one of the viewers says, I had much the same experience as me, as far as my surroundings, but never been attracted to another race. I actually never felt fully accepted by them anyway. And that probably is, like you kind of said too, that sense of strong black pride and just, you
Not
know,
just
like
black.
I never was like just deterred from what I could probably have done anything I ultimately wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in the home where you better not, you know, none of that. It was just, you know, whatever you pretty much wanted to do, you probably could have done. I could have done that, you know, but it never really occurred to me.
Right. Like, so, you know, I'm asking this question because, you know, it's prevalent now. We see, because for me as a black man, if I'm dating a white woman, let's say white woman for the sake of saying a white woman, I'm looked down upon. If I walk outside, and a lot of black women see me like this, bam, we having issues. You know, side-eyed, you know, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, one person said one time before, I've had this conversation once before, one person said is because they don't know the struggle. They don't know the stuff that you went through, you know, especially for black people, you know, slavery, the Uncle Tom, or the, you know, what was it, racism against, having that racism against,
Mm-hmm.
right? They don't know the struggle, so it's kind of hard to identify with them in certain aspects. So if you had a hard day at work, right? Let's say you had a hard day at work. You had a hard day at work and you felt like you were preyed upon based on your race.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to, say, a girlfriend, wife, whoever, who happens to be the same race as the people who's putting you down. And you start talking about this, how can they really relate to you?
Right.
How can they really be relatable? So, like, even in a relationship, you want to have some sense of commonality, understanding of each other, where you can bounce thoughts and ideas and have unspoken understanding. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. I mean, you know, and you know, at the end of the day, it really just boils down to your preference. Like, well, I don't want to say preference, but yeah, preference and what you like. Mm-hmm. What you want to expose yourself to from a long, you know, I don't know, long term, short term, you know, mm-hmm. It just all depends. So some of the struggles that I saw was nobody believes you're a couple.
Oh yeah.
People try to guess your partner's race. It can be tough on the children. Your mind, you open your mind to new perspectives, and you're more open to non-traditional relationships. So.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so for black people, for black men, black women, I'm saying we're very territorial, we're very possessive. Couldn't you say that?
Yeah.
When it comes to our man or our woman, right? Mm-hmm. For the most part. So in Hispanic culture, right, they give hugs and kisses on the cheek no matter who they are.
Right.
That's how they greet people. But for us, they be like, oh, what the hell you kissing my woman for? If you don't understand the customs
right,
could create a huge divide between you and them. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people just talking, you know, they look at, some of these people look at black people as lazy, ungrateful, you know, angry people.
Right.
You know, can't be trusted. So when they see that from the outside, mm-hmm. you know, why would they want their family to be with them? You know, be with this type of person, because they don't know you personally. They're just judging you by the overall basis of your whole race. So I'm not.
One bad experience can change the whole damn thing. So they say, I always love black men. Mm-hmm. I dated 2 Latin men. Nope, not a never. Too damn machismo for my Sagittarius ass. Mm. As a dating adult, I don't really put myself in any spaces where I would meet eligible men of another race. So that's probably the issue now.
Okay.
Went on a few dates, but never went any farther.
Okay. So
the question is dating and dipping the same thing?
Absolutely not.
No.
Dipping could be plausible deniability. You was never there. You were never there.
You just think you just check. Is it cold or is it hot? You just
That's right.
Just testing. Okay.
That's it. On a date, everybody, they see a picture or two, maybe.
It's my friend.
Yeah, it's my friend. But after that, just my opinion.
Right. High school, I kind of dated some Puerto Rican girls.
Word.
You can grow up with different cultures, and none of that is a problem.
I agree. But
Yeah.
you gotta see, you're speaking to the people who are open-minded enough to embrace something new. How many people out there can really truly say that? Hell, you can't even get people to even leave their home city.
Right.
They get stuck there. I was watching something not dating related. It was gang related. And the guy was like,
Tipping and sipping.
the guy was like, you know what? I ain't gonna never leave this city. And if they want me to move, only time I leave this city is if I'm going to jail and they expedite me out. And I thought to myself, man, that was very narrow-minded.
Right.
And he really doesn't have any goals. You know what I'm saying? Other than being on the corner.
Wow.
So, if you are conditioned, it goes back to if you are conditioned to be a certain way to see something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I hate to use my school as an example, but I will again. So I grew up, when I was at high school, I went to all black high school, Jones High School, and I had a coach named, I had a coach named Code 4. So we was in this Black Pride movement. So this was his idea to get me to get on a wrestling team, right? Mm-hmm. He was like, I have a way for you to fight white people and not go to jail. And I was like, where do I sign up? Where do I sign up? So I signed up, and the first person I wrestled was a white guy. And he actually beat me in like 40 seconds. 40 seconds, because he had all the technique and I didn't. And I learned a valuable lesson like that. It doesn't matter what color you are. The man is what makes the difference.
The skill set.
The skill set and the man make the difference. But see, he taught me a lesson. I went into the lab and prepared myself. I thought because I was black, I was gonna just mow over this guy. I'm black and I've got talent. And it takes more than that. So that is a testament to being conditioned to live and see things a certain way. Right?
Yeah. But who taught you that?
Well, it's just it started at home. Obviously, I told you I went to I was in a pro-black household.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Nothing against it. I love you. Y'all taught me a lot of good life lessons and values, but there's some things.
But a lot of our parents were educating us at their level.
At their level. Because, our parents were the ones that were going through that colored only water fountains.
Right.
Different bathrooms. Couldn't go to certain restaurants because of the color of your skin. So from them, they got a chance to, they lived that horror. And then when we came about, they didn't want us to experience that, but they were kind of conditioning us and not allowing us to grow. Mm-hmm. So then when we got to that point where we wanted to grow, we just took off.
Right.
And be anti everything.
Well, so as an adult now, I'm more open to entertaining another race. Mm-hmm. And that's because over the course of years, just my exposure and my lack of knowledge and lack of, vision, just all of that influenced it, and now that I no longer allow society's expectations to dictate my ultimate happiness, it puts me in a better position to be open, like I say, to entertaining other races outside of black, because and I'm black, obviously. So, because I'm a nerd.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm a geek. He's a nerd.
I'm the nerd. She's the geek.
Yeah.
There you go.
I like
just so you know the difference between nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know the difference between nerd and a geek is more technology driven.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a smooth.
You're all about technology.
I'm both of them, but you know.
Me?
Anywho,
I'm just straight up nerd-ish.
Yeah, he got heavy nerd tendencies. So, what's the percentage of whites marrying someone of a different race? Do you know? I mean, these numbers may not necessarily be accurate because I think these came from 2018.
Mm-hmm.
But it does say, what is that? Oh, I was just making sure anybody saying that. 11% of white people marry someone of a different race today.
Well,
today, like I'm just saying, like, and this was last year, 2018.
I wonder what it was like back in the day, man.
Well, it's saying compared to 4% in 1980. We'll get into a little bit of history as I go through these numbers.
Okay.
Asians. 29% of Asians marry outside of their ethnicity.
I don't know if I agree with that, man. Here in Florida, boy, I can't even talk to an Asian girl.
Well,
you know, but I'm just saying. I mean, but over in the other side, San Francisco, California side.
Well, we talking about the United States. We not talking about Florida. We talking about the United States.
Listen.
This is not Florida.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you a true story. Like, in order to get me an Asian woman, I had to pay for that one.
Yeah.
Ooh, I had to pay.
So, 27% of Hispanics marry outside their race.
I started with them.
Okay. But then it goes into with black men are higher likely to marry outside of their race at 24% of the time. Black women are less likely to marry outside of their race at 12% of the time that they will marry someone, approximately 12%.
You do, girl? Man.
So imagine that. You know, like those are just some statistics that I was able to locate about, you know, just how the different races went into their marriages. But now the number of interracial marriages has increased 5 times since 1967. Today, approximately 17% of married couples are interracial.
Right.
Not bad. You know, I mean, still low, but back to what that history that I was saying. So the ban, first of all,
these comments are everything, man.
Interracial marriages only became fully legal in the U.S. in 1967.
Damn.
And it was because of the Loving versus state of Virginia case that the Supreme Court, they won in the Supreme Court and changed the laws, basically, because it appears that the grounds was equal protection and due process clauses, which violated the 14th Amendment. It went to the Supreme Court.
I kind of, believe it or not, I kind of remember watching the movie on Netflix, I believe.
Yeah, called Loving. So if you're interested in hearing more about this, or just at least seeing the, what is it called, the movie version of this case, Loving, Loving is the name of the movie, and you can find it, you know, somewhere out there, because it's a real thing that took place. Richard and Mildred Loving.
Right.
All right. So let me see what they talking about out here in these streets. Okay, I went to school in Miami, and the attitudes that a lot of older Hispanics have of blacks was a huge turnoff. I'm not trying to have to cuss abuela out.
Well, I mean, let's speak on that for a little. Or go ahead, Ken. Go ahead.
It's unfortunate, but I didn't really feel a difference in race until I got in the South. That was something that I talked about earlier when he and I was talking. Right. And the race of marrying a black man. Didn't she see my black ass? Have you seen these curls? LOL. We have major colorism on the island and in our culture. Fucking be happy. Flow with your happiness.
Right.
They may not be speaking in Asian black relationship. I can believe if it's an Asian white, that chocolate is everything. We need to get like Star Trek, and everyone should be open to everyone. Okay.
Okay.
Well, with that about the South, when we were talking about earlier Crow, that man. With it, not just the Jim Crow per se, but the mentality of the Yankees, Northerners versus the Southerners,
different.
It's just different. And then within each area, like you were saying, like the Italians, Jews, different races, they strongly want to keep their lines pure.
I think that's a different, other than Florida and maybe Texas and the southern states that, I think like the South is usually a black and white thing. You either got color, or you're not colored, right? When they're up north, I think it's more prominent about where you come from. Like if you are Irish, they want you to be with Irish. If you are Spanish, they want you to be with Spanish. If you are Italian, Jewish. They want you to stick to your own, wherever you really come from. If you Haitian, be with Haitian.
Right. I mean, and it's definitely.
If I'm wrong,
you
call me out.
There's no right or wrong to it. It's nothing wrong with your nationality, your ethnicity, the lineage, wanting it to remain pure.
Man,
uninfiltrated, to say the least. So that's why a lot of tug of war with interracial relationships come about.
In Florida, I didn't realize Haitians were Haitian until I was like in high school. You know what I'm saying? You start hanging out with people and they have different type of food. I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't never ate that before. Other than that, I just thought you was black. You know what I mean?
Well, we knew growing up you were different.
What you said, you wore them button-down collared shirts with the slacks?
It's just other people that came from other countries that were here, their cultural mindset was different. They didn't have the luxuries we had here in America and the mentality. So when they came here as young boys and girls, thank you. When they came here, they were learning. They had to learn, unlearn and relearn, which was a big transition. And a lot of times their parents were they were encouraging them to become Americanized, but they still wanted them to hold on to their culture. And I don't think there was an issue with that. They had to speak their native language, and all those things, and do things a certain way. But they were able to go to school and fraternize and, with other people. But most likely, strong 80% of them stayed within their
within their race. Within their race. So here on Sipping and Conversation, we always ask this question. So how do we change the narrative? So here's my thought process on where I'm saying how do we change the narrative. So when other Spanish
must be watching the show.
Oh, Spanish or whatnot. Spanish, Asian, or whatnot. They look upon each other as black, a different way. Period. You know what I'm saying? So they have these preconceived notions, right? They have these preconceived notions of who you are based on not even saying hello, not even get a chance to get to know you personally. They already have these preconceived notions. So as a black man black woman dealing with people outside our own culture. Mm-hmm. How do we change that narrative? How do we change the impression of us on them? You know, I have an idea. First, we got to stop fighting amongst each other.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I'm saying? That's real bad.
Do we really want to? I mean, you're not against it, but are you? Okay, so here's a twist.
Okay, I'm here for it.
If you choose not to date outside your race, why is it viewed upon as being racist?
It's not for those who choose. They don't.
I'm just saying. Why do
they don't think it's racist? But what it is what makes it race is the person who chooses to date out their race. How do you treat that person? So if you look down on them for stepping outside of their race, then yes, you are racist.
I understand what you're saying. But a lot of times, if I'm pro, I don't care what color, I mean, whatever. I'm just obviously I'm black, so I'm gonna talk from a black perspective. Mm-hmm. So if I choose to stay within my race exclusively, some people will view me as being racist. Oh, what, you can't date somebody? No, it's not that. I choose to date within my race.
I agree. But then that comes with the personality type. There's a lot of personality, A type, B type personalities. If you're not with me, you're against me type situation. So if you don't believe what I believe, you're the enemy. And they fight you along those lines. And they put you in that category. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of where it's at. Can you go ahead and read some of the comments? Because I see 2 or 3 of them that made.
Every race wants to procreate with their own race.
Absolutely.
That's normal. Mm-hmm. Didn't Fat Joe just say that all PRs, Puerto Ricans, are black? I don't know, but I know that there's
3 races in them of some sort.
It's definitely cousins in them. Melanated people are at an all-time high globally. Google won't let you know that. One, ask yourself why the census isn't around like before. I mean, it still is, but isn't it just only 10 years? Which I don't think, why would they do it 10 years? But, that would be an issue. I don't know why they wait 10 years, because I think they only do it 10 years.
I mean, I seen a chauvinistic show one time, right? I don't want to name the show, but I was watching a male chauvinistic show, right? And they said, well, if we can't beat them as far as killing them, then we'll breed them out.
Oh, wow.
So, hear what I said. So when we first got here, they wanted to water us down, so they breeded us out. So it's not really much all black people. There's somebody in their lineage that may have a little lighter skin. Right? And now, we are doing the same thing.
Because it made you get the impression that to be lighter, fair-skinned, there's better opportunities, and better advancements, and things like that. And so then we start having this tug of war within.
So my question,
I want to go to some of the things that were mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Earlier, in with regards to some of the challenges, or just some feedback from some people that answered my question, basically.
Okay.
Number one, if I can get to it, thank you very much. All right. I really never been into dating white ladies, but I tried twice when I got here, and for me, it was very uncomfortable. I know part of it was me, but the looks you get from both sides is weird. Dating Spanish here is weird. Here as in Florida. Because the dudes be tight seeing you walk around with a Puerto Rican chick. So 10 years ago, I decided to stick with my beautiful black women. Now I'm married, happily married. So then another one. I think it is mostly a black man and a white woman that a thing to get the backlash.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this is an opinion.
I get it.
My black female friends that don't date outside their race bitch about this all the time and say he should stick to his race. Bullshit. Or he is only dating her to get back
So
at the white man.
that's interesting. I hear that a lot.
Mm-hmm, me too. What about when a black man dates an Indian woman or an Asian woman? Bitter people want to dictate what is best for others. Let that be his preference. Let the two of them enjoy their life. I don't see backlash for when a black woman dates outside of her race.
Shit, me. Okay.
It is a double standard. Interracial dating isn't for everyone. Everyone is attracted to different features and personalities.
But, the thing about interracial dating, is tough because of the backlash, because of what people think, because of what family members do. If your mom or dad disown you because you decide to stay outside your race, that will affect you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do you manage to live that? Go for it. I see a whole paragraph right there.
Yeah, I'm just going to take some. I'm just going to take some pieces from it.
Mm-hmm.
Never in person or on social media has anyone directly made derogatory remarks towards my relationship. Absolutely. I'm in an interracial relationship. Not that I've searched out white chicks. Prior to this one, it was a 5-year relationship with a black queen. Just didn't work. In between my current and my last lady, it was black, Mexican, white, and some. I didn't know the actual race. One thing I get from a few old chicks I used to date or hook up with is y'all pick the white chicks because you can do this or do that to them, or they'll just take anything from black guys, y'all dish out and still come back. My thought, and keeping it really funky, when I hear this from a woman, what I see is bitterness.
Absolutely.
Some black women say white women take ass whoopings, cheating, broke brothers still hanging around. Black women take the same ass whooping. The same cheaters or non-job having brothers and allow them back in their life as much as any white chick, if not more.
Amen.
I won't front. There are some cornball, coon, boot licking brothers that will spit that bullshit. I don't date black women. They're too hostile or violent or too much attitude.
Okay.
Any brother saying this is a clown, Negro, weak, and his opinion in this matter warrants no attention. Has no validity, and only speaks for a small percentage of Carlton coon Negroes.
Man, you went all the way in, cuz.
Just tell them how you really feel.
Tell them how you really feel.
I welcome righteous criticism from black women on this, but ain't for opinions laced in malice. So then it goes on, and so there was just some other stuff that went through.
So to piggyback off what the guy said is the craziest chick I ever dated was a white woman. The craziest chick I ever dated was a white woman. Like literally, she watched that movie Enough, right? With Jennifer Lopez. And when I walked in the door one time, I pissed off, but I walked in the door one time, she had her jumpsuit on, taped the hands up. She was ready for war. She said, I'm gonna fight this cat.
Hey, well.
See, the thing is, this is how you see what I'm afraid of. Like when I was dating this one white woman, the thing I was afraid of was that poor, innocent, defenseless white woman stereotype. So when issues were happening, when she was talking to the police officer in this particular situation, she's like, oh, he was this and that. And she was playing on the stereotype of every black man as a way to win favor with the police officer. You see what I'm saying? So when the police officer talked to me, right, he realized he wasn't dealing with the the regular, stereotypical black man. So it ticked her off even more in that moment.
Well, just there's a few other challenges that a lot of interracial couples face. Open hostility and intimidation.
Yeah.
Like you said, the negative stereotyping, derogatory comments in public, stares, whispers, sense of isolation, rejection from the family.
You got to be built for this, man.
Right.
Some people
choose it.
Some people can't. You know, they fold, right? It ain't got nothing to do with a race. It's just a personality trait. You know what I'm saying? When the heat is up and the pressure cooking, you can't stand the test of time.
Yeah.
You know, they fold under pressure.
Now, if there's children involved with this, that's a whole level right there in itself, trying to make sure everybody is on the same page, because if you're getting this tension, surely the children
are getting worse.
They could face worse. Sometimes kids can actually be more accepting than adults. Because they haven't yet completely been taught. Yeah, depending on how small they are. You don't really become exposed like negatively unless that's just the way your household is.
But do you think schools, along with family impression, do you think schools bring on this ideology when you go to talk about history, American history?
I mean, in this day and age,
absolutely.
First of all, in this day and age, we have exposure to far more information that can, that's what the curriculum is. So go on and get through high school, contradicted at home, what if you will, but there's far more information readily available to us to show our children, okay, this is the curriculum. However, these are the other ways, and these are the things. So you now, as a parent, you have to you got to do your due diligence.
Right.
So it's not so much as it's the agenda that's going to be pushed, whatever the agenda is. It's just because it's an easier curriculum. If they say, well, if it ain't broke, they ain't trying to fix it. So for them, it's not broke, even though it's not 100% accurate.
Right, I get it. You
know what I mean? Like, why change math to compete with China and other places?
Didn't they do that?
Just saying, like to change this and make us learn
a new way to
do it.
This new math.
This new math. Why would I? The reason why I think we were the way they were was more about comprehension, so that you can understand it. But if you would teach it based to be a way of understanding versus teaching it so that you could pass a test, you might actually teach the child how to understand what they're doing so they can pass the test.
So that's what they were saying, that the way we were taught was memory based math.
Right.
Where, this is what it's supposed to be, but you don't know exactly how it got there. You see what I'm saying?
But that's contrary. That's contradictory, because we did.
We did.
I know I was taught, because I was smart parents. Okay. So I was always taught. I wasn't taught 1 + 1, but we still had systems that we had in place, how to get certain things, but that's a whole nother level.
I guess they really just did that so as a world we can be united in one way.
But the children got to teach the parents. So what do we do? How does that work?
It works great.
You know what I'm saying?
They count on that.
So we're gonna go ahead and be closing it up. But in closing, I wanted to say this. Hawaii has the largest number of interracial relationships, basically mixed races.
I believe it.
42%.
They got them Samoans over there.
Look, first of all, don't. That's rude.
I'm sorry, I just came right out.
Because what the hell? If I say mixed races, you go with Samoans.
Hey man, listen. I'm not saying that in a bad way. They are some exotic. They are some exotic looking people.
Yeah,
and a lot of people in this world love exotic.
But it's also a military base over there too.
Hey man.
Oh, okay.
We always planting flags everywhere.
That part. And Las Vegas is like the next largest with 31% of married couples being interracial.
Okay.
So that's what I came up with.
You did a really good job.
You did. Stop saying
no,
me.
Listen.
Us.
You did the research, and I'm going to give you credit where credit's due, baby.
Well, I have to have. I be needing it. Now you good? You want to tell us a personal story?
Go for it.
Imperious Rex.
You want
the clean version? You got give the people the clean version.
Okay. Are you want to come through, or you want to call in, or do you just want to just say it real?
I don't know what you want to say.
Do you want to talk, man? We can pass
How
you through.
long were you married?
We can pass you through if you need it. Let us know.
He probably not, because he crazy. All right. No worries. So we're going to go ahead and close it up. But definitely, if you are interested in dating outside of your race,
do it.
Do it. Be great. You know what I'm saying? 10 years. Wow. But you just have to know that just because you being great, just because that's what you want to do, does not mean, like I always say, that you are omit from consequences and repercussions because of it.
And I'm going to add to what you're saying, baby, because that was very great. I'm going to say this. Who is the author of your life? Yeah. If you are the author of your life, you write down how your life is going to play out. Then live it the way you want to live it. Because you're the one writing this book.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. He say, hell yeah, do it. Don't discriminate, participate.
There it is. Race mixing.
Get it in.
I always say I got a 1% of each race in me. Because I go out and get them.
All right. I'm done with him.
He sure is.
He's a clown.
Oh, yeah. I definitely am.
All right, start him. What you got for me, baby?
I got...
Same time next week, 7:45 p.m.
Make sure if you have anything that you would like to talk about, just inbox us, right? Mm-hmm. So we can go ahead and put it out on the airways.
Always. We welcome it. BuddhaandBaby@gmail.com. If you want to send an email, you can always go on the page, hit the send message button, and it will get it.
We're definitely not afraid. We're not afraid to talk about it.
You can and you will remain anonymous if that's what your preference is. You can find us on multiple platforms. We do have a link in our bio section on all of our platforms that will link you to wherever you need to go. All of the different platforms that you can find us. Right. So I'm excited about that.
You ever hit your music, baby?
Hit it.
Chill and vibe. Baby girl, keep it real, no lies. She said she's 21, I said alright.